Um, a lot of people are going to be pointing out that I deleted a couple of videos, and that's because I'm trying to pull myself back. I know that Kathy doesn't always upload every day, and so giving the time limit of tonight wasn't really a fair quiz. And she's going to have plenty of time to just ask my sisters, so it's not going to matter anyways. The response I originally made is up there and will be put along with this, but my problem is that I'm angry and I'm hurt, and every time I think about my little brother, I'm reminded of what Kathy and Adonis Paul have done. And the fact that she's in control of the narrative of my life when she was never around to even know anything about anybody. And I'm just angry. And there's nothing that's going to make that go away, because there's nothing that can change what they've done or the way that it's affected me. And I know everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about, but I'll explain it just in case somebody doesn't. Adonis Paul got angry with me, and he held a fundraiser to urinate on my handicapped brother's grave. He raised $1,500 on this fundraiser, and when I was upset, said that it was obviously a scam. He was scamming his audience because he wasn't really going to do that. So he was accepting the money for something he knew he wasn't intending to do. My aunt visited my brother's grave last year with a bottle of apple juice and made multiple videos about how she was standing in for her friend, Adonis Paul, who had raised the money. And she wanted to make sure he wasn't seen as a scammer, because if somebody actually fulfilled the goal, then he could keep that money. And that was what was important, was that her new friend not be seen as a scammer. So she had to go to his grave with apple juice. And she'll write it off and say that she was going to see my mother's grave when my mother had just passed, which is even more despicable. That she would, in her grief, think it was okay to desecrate the grave right next to the woman that she's supposedly now grieving. This is my family. This is how they've always been. And no matter how loud or hard I speak against them, nobody ever listens. Nobody ever sees it, because they're so good at manipulating and lying. They are very charismatic people, but they are liars. And my memories of my brother are forever tainted by Adonis Paul and my Aunt Kathy's actions in the past couple of years, using him to hurt me over and over again, using his memory against me because I love him. And yesterday was his birthday, and it brought all of this to me again. And I've been crying since, and I've been angry since. And all of the defending of my aunt just makes me more angry.
So here's the answer to those questions. And so you're not going to accuse me of changing the answers after she said hers. I want you to look at the time. the time and the date. This is directly after I made the last video. It's only a few minutes later. So, the answers. Little Ronnie's favorite TV show was MASH. But there was a problem with the show because the theme song sounded too lullaby-ish. And so we would have to pause or turn down the sound for the opening and closing theme, and then he could enjoy the rest of the show. The reason that he didn't like lullabies was because when he was very little, he had a teddy bear that played a lullaby. I think it played Brahms' lullaby or something when you pressed on its stomach. And he took it to school with him for nap times. You know, it was supposed to help him sleep at night or during school. Some kids in his class who were not as disabled as him started beating him up with it. While it was playing music, they started hitting him with it, pushing it in his face, just being mean. And it terrified my brother to lullaby type music for the rest of his life. And so anything that sounded slightly lullaby-ish, like the theme song for MASH, without the words, it would instantly make him cry. He would start having flashbacks, I guess. So he loved watching MASH, but he could not listen to the theme song to it. Question number 2. Bubba loved wrestling. Every night for decades, he slept with a macho man, Randy Savage. I know Kathy's not going to know that. Doesn't matter. The whole point is to prove that she doesn't know him. But there's your answers. MASH and the macho man, Randy Savage. Oh yeah. Snap into it, brother.